Hey everyone, it's Michelle. Happy New Year. Happy 2021. I am finally getting around to filming for you my skincare favorites of 2020. Usually in my annual skincare favorites videos, I try to pick out one item per category. However, 2020 was a very good year for skincare despite how poo-poo the year was in general. Before we get into the video, more than a handful of the products that I will be sharing with you all have already been featured in my moisturizing skincare recommendations video. So I am going to try to skim over those products fairly quickly. However, if you want more information on them, be sure to check out the video, which I will link up at the cards and the description box down below. If you are interested in a specific category of this video, I'll be sure to leave timestamps in this video as well. This video may be long. The other times I have sat down to try to film this video, it took me roughly an hour to film, so hopefully I can get this video down to at least 20 minutes, if not 25. Either way, timestamps will be provided in this video, and I would just appreciate it if you watch the whole thing either way. Having said that, let's get started. So the first category are cleansers. This will include the oil cleansers and the regular water-based cleansers. So for oil cleansers, the only one I want to mention today is the Hada Labo Goku Jun oil cleanser. I actually started using this back in 2019, and I never ended up mentioning it in my 2019 favorites. I felt like it still deserved praise in an annual favorites video, so I wanted to mention it in this one. It is quite an affordable oil cleanser. I find it pretty easy to get your hands on, especially those of you in the US. I believe they sell this on Amazon, and Hada Labo is available at Target. The quantity is also really good, and I find that I tend to use less than a pump to massage this all over my face and neck to break down any makeup. Now moving on to regular cleansers. So the first three I'm going to be showing you are non-foaming. They have a low pH and they are fairly gentle. Also, two of them I find that I can use as both a first and second cleanse. So the ones that I can use as both a first and second cleanse are the La Roche-Posay Toleriane Dermo-Cleanser and the Paula's Choice Optimal Results Hydrating Cleanser. So for the Dermo-Cleanser, I actually started using this near the spring, whereas the Paula's Choice one, it kind of snuck into my favorites in December after I purchased this during the Black Friday sale. Both of these just feel really nice and creamy. They're very enjoyable to use, especially at this time of year when it is quite dry. I always appreciate any extra moisture I can get into my skincare routine. I'm actually done with this cleanser. This is just water that I added into it just so I can use up all of the cleanser as much as possible. The next non-foaming low pH cleanser is the Geek and Gorgeous 101 Jelly Joker. I've already reviewed this in full. I love jelly cleansers, so I really enjoy the texture of this product. I also like the fact that it does have additional moisturizing and soothing ingredients in it. So after I wash my face, my skin does not feel as dry. And lastly, for the cleanser category is a non-foaming cleanser that is also low pH and also contains moisturizing ingredients in it. That is the Rovectin Skin Essentials Conditioning Cleanser Advanced Formula Hypoallergenic. So as I mentioned, this is a low foaming cleanser. It is also low pH, I believe around 5.7. It does contain humectant ingredients such as hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate, glycerin, and a handful of amino acids. I found myself reaching for this more during the warmer months where my skin likes something a little bit more foamy. This never dried out my skin did not feel impaired, and it also felt fairly soft after I used it. For makeup remover, I do have one item to share with you all, and that is the Heroine Speedy Mascara Remover. So as many of you know, the Marcel Gentle Eye Makeup Remover for sensitive eyes is my go-to. However, my colleague recommended that I tried this one out because back when we were actually going to the office, I was wearing waterproof mascara frequently, and in particular the Heroine Make Mascara, which is my favorite one. For 2020, I did not wear a whole lot of makeup, but the times that I did give this a go, and it is very easy and gentle to use. It just is this weird plastic wand that you just wiggle between your eyelashes. You don't need to coat a lot of it on. You just gently massage it on your eyelashes and the mascara melts away very easily, as well as the rest of your eye makeup. So I do like how easy this is to use, how gentle it is, and also I don't need to use a cotton round when I apply this. For next category, we are moving on to hydrators. So these are supplemental moisturizing products that I like to include in my skincare routine, especially because I am normal leaning to dry. I have one toner, two essences, two lotions, a couple of ampules as well as serums to show you all, so let's get right to it. Starting off with the toner, my favorite for 2020 is the I'm From Rice Toner. So this is my second bottle of this toner. After finishing the first bottle and having a bit of a gap without using this toner, I did realize that this is quite unique in my skincare routine. Out of all the hydrating toners I've ever tried, this one I find just really packs a punch of brightness to my face, and also it does soften my skin as well. So whenever I want my skin to look particularly bright and more awake, I love reaching for this toner. Next section is Essence. So the first one that I really liked throughout 2020 is the by Wishtrend Quad Active Boosting Essence. I was quite pleasantly surprised by this essence. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It does provide a nice light moisturizing film on the skin, perfect enough to wear during the summer months. This was actually the only hydrator I used during that time. In addition to the extra moisture it provided, I also noticed the anti-inflammatory and soothing benefits of this essence. Last essence is the Naruko Face Renewal Miracle Essence. I won this in an Instagram giveaway and opened it shortly after I finished the by Wishtrend one, and this one pretty much reminded me why I love fermented essences so much. When I first started using it, I did notice that despite it being light in texture, it did add extra moisture to my skin, and my skin felt softer to the touch. During the holidays, I did stop using this just because I was super lazy with my skincare routine in general, so I had as minimal steps as possible. But once I reintroduced this back into my skincare routine, I noticed such a difference that it makes for my skin. It just makes it so nice and bright, more supple. My skin doesn't look as dehydrated. It looks more even, and my skin texture felt softer once again. Next are my favorite lotions of 2020, and I have two of them. So this one is the Rovectin Skin Essentials Activating Treatment Lotion, and of course the Laneige Cream Skin Refiner. I mentioned both of these in my moisturizing skincare recommendations video. I really like the texture of the Rovectin lotion because of how light it is. In addition to that, I could use this as my standalone hydrator and just layer it multiple times during this time of year. My skin feels more satisfyingly moisturized and it does not feel congested. And for the Laneige Cream Skin Refiner, it truly is one of a kind. Despite its really thin texture, it just packs such a punch of moisture to my skin. It is very emollient. It almost feels like a moisturizer. For those of you that live in a more humid climate, or if you just have an oilier skin type, I think you would really like using this as a moisturizer. I actually do have a sheet mask to share with you. Out of the ones that I've used this year, this one was a huge standout for me, and that is the For Beloved Girl Extreme Moisture Mineral Cloud Silk Mask. So this one has a really nice thin sheet that just adheres to my face very well. I noticed after using this mask, my skin looked really nice and plump with moisture. It looked smoother, and my pores looked more minimized, and that effect lasted for a couple of days. So this one definitely really impressed me this year. The next section in hydrators is Ampoule. So the first one I'm going to mention, I already featured it in the moisturizing skincare product recommendations video. That is the Pyunkang Moisture Ampoule. I really like that this is a simple hydrating formula that focuses on the Coptis chinensis root extract as its main ingredient. This does have quite a unique texture where it does feel like it adheres onto my skin, but it still feels nice and light, and it leaves my skin feeling fresh and plump. Next ampoule that was my favorite for 2020 is the Rovectin Clean LHA Blemish Ampoule. I did review this ampoule on my blog in full, and my original use of this product was as a spot treatment. So back when I had that lingering pimple on my cheek here, when I did pop it, I put a little bit of this on it. I didn't use Axone, Differin, anything like that. I just wanted to see how well this reduced the inflammation and controlled the acne bacteria. And while it did help to reduce the redness and inflammation in that area, it didn't help to prevent the pimple from coming back. However, as an all-over general hydrating ampoule, this is very good. It is a really nice concoction of moisturizing, antioxidant, and soothing ingredients. This does come in a bigger bottle, and for that reason I find this product is very well worth it, and it is for those reasons that I wanted to include this in my favorites of 2020. Last for the hydrators section are serums. So the first one is the Jumiso Super Soothing Cica and Aloe Facial Serum. This was featured in the moisturizing skincare product recommendations video. This is a really nice emollient serum that has a lot of barrier strengthening ingredients. and the counterpart I find to it that's a little bit lighter in texture is the Purito Centella Unscented Serum. And the reason I say it's a counterpart is because for me, I consider this also a barrier strengthening type of serum as well. Just like the Jumiso one, this contains a lot of Centella asiatica extract in it, about 49%, but this also has niacinamide, ceramides, and peptides, and the formula of this one is more minimal than the Jumiso one. Out of the two, I do prefer the Jumiso one because I did find it more soothing. However, with the Purito Centella Unscented Serum, I really like that it comes in a 60 ml bottle, and I feel like I could just use this as my hydrator step in my skincare routine, and it just has a nice concoction of standout ingredients in a minimal formula. That is it for the hydrators. Now we are moving on to actives. So the first part of actives that I want to share with you all that were my favorites for 2020 are chemical exfoliants. So I have two here. This one is the SkinCeuticals Blemish Plus Age Defense Serum, and this is the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 8% AHA Gel Exfoliant. What I like about both of these is that they are at the proper pH for glycolic acid to perform as effectively as possible, and they are also very gentle. For the Paula's Choice one, I love the 2% BHA liquid. So when I do use the 8% AHA gel exfoliant, I also use the BHA liquid. With the SkinCeuticals one, it does have both BHA and AHA chemical exfoliant, so I don't need to have two separate products when applying this. And I really like how cosmetically elegant this serum is. It definitely took me by surprise, and I don't need to use a lot of this product to effectively cover my face and neck. The next set of actives that are my favorites for 2020 are vitamin C serums. So I do have two here, the Geek and Gorgeous 101 C Glow Serum and the SkinCeuticals Floritin CF Serum. I already reviewed both of these serums, the 101 C Glow Serum alongside the Jelly Joker Cleanser, and the Floritin CF I reviewed on Instagram with the Blemish Plus Age Defense Serum. But to sum it up, what I really like about these vitamin C serums in particular is that they have the required amount of L-ascorbic acid at a low pH for it to be effective, in addition to ferulic acid. In terms of performance, both of these are very gentle. I have used them even after applying a chemical exfoliant and did not experience any crazy sensitization. I really like the Floritin CF in particular because the texture is really elegant. I really enjoy using it. When it comes to price point, Geek and Gorgeous C Glow Serum definitely takes the cake for that. That is why this is my current holy grail vitamin C serum. However, now that I have tried a SkinCeuticals vitamin C serum, I did get this in a PR package to review on my Instagram, and the Blemish Plus Age Defense Serum. I would consider purchasing the full sizes of both of these. More so the Blemish Plus Age Defense Serum, just because it doesn't have as much of a time restriction as the vitamin C serum. And last for actives are my prescription products. So the first one is the 5% Dapsone My Axone Gel. So at the beginning of 2020, when I did a skin update, I said that I was going to start using Axone again, and that was definitely a very good choice on my part. Ever since I included this in my skincare routine again, my acne control improved a lot when I was using this with Different. If I did get some sort of cystic breakout, I found applying this a couple of times did the trick to reduce that inflammation very quickly. I also like that this does not dry out my skin at all, and it plays fairly well with the other actives in my collection. And of course, how can I not feature my prescription strength tretinoin in my skincare favorites of 2020? This year my prescription got bumped up from 0.3% adapalene to 0.04% tretinoin, and just from using that strength of tretinoin within 1 month, I already saw a difference in my skin. The acne control was better, my skin looked more refined, my pores looked better, and any of the active breakouts that I had on my face reduced. In particular, the lingering pimple that I had on my cheek here for a handful of videos, that finally went away thanks to the introduction of tretinoin. Now I'm currently on the highest prescription strength of tretinoin at 0.1%. This formula is Retin-A Micro. I am pretty much going to be using this for life. This is the star ingredient almost every skincare expert talks about on the internet and in person. Again, I've noticed such good benefits from the first month alone of using tretinoin. So I'm definitely going to be continue using it, one, to maintain my skin's clarity, and also because I did turn 30 in 2020. This is very good for a prevent and prolong approach to my skincare routine. That is it for actives. Now moving on to the next category, which is moisturizer. I have one here to show you, and that is the Cetaphil Baby Eczema Calming Moisturizer. And oh my goodness, this is a drugstore gem. As mentioned in that moisturizing skincare recommendations video, this is just a concoction of very good skin-friendly ingredients, 1% colloidal oatmeal being one of them. This also contains niacinamide, glycerin, sodium hyaluronate, arginine, panthenol, sodium PCA, shea butter. You get the idea. This is filled with very nice ingredients. For my drier skin type, this is a little bit more lotiony and watery. However, I find using multiple layers of this will get me through the winter time. This is actually my boyfriend's go-to moisturizer right now, but I do have a feeling once the warmer months come around, this can be just a really nice moisturizer without all those layers. All right, and last but not least, we are on to sunscreens, and I have 5 of them to share with you all. These all have stood out to me in the year of 2020. A couple of them have snuck into my skincare favorites near the end of the year, but I still think they deserve a mention because I have used them non-stop since I got them. Starting with an all-mineral sunscreen, this is the Seriously Fab Zinc It Over Fine and Sheer Sunscreen Facial Mist SPF 25. This is the unscented version. I purchased this for the purpose of reapplying my sunscreen over makeup. I do have powdered sunscreen, but the problem with that is if I am wearing foundation, plus the fact that I do have a drier skin type, I do have to rub it quite a bit into my skin, so that makes me feel like I'm not only going to move my makeup around a lot, but it's also going to make my skin a lot drier and just look really cakey. So that's where a mist comes in, and this is really nice. This is actually quite moisturizing. This leaves no cast whatsoever. It does not disturb my makeup at all. It does leave a little bit of droplets here and there, but it's very easy to blend in. I also enjoy using this when I am not wearing a full face of makeup either. It just feels really nice and refreshing, but it is quite emollient and it does leave quite the glowy finish afterwards. So if you have oily skin and you're thinking of trying this out, just keep that in mind. Otherwise, if you are a drier skin type like I am and prefer a glowier finish, you'll really like this. Next sunscreen favorite is an all-organic sunscreen. This was a new formula that came out here on the Canadian market this year, and that is the La Roche-Posay and Thelios SPF 50 Plus Ultra Fluid Invisible Finish Lotion. I use this one a lot during the summertime because it's not only an SPF of 50 plus, it has a PPD of 35, and it is waterproof for 80 minutes. It is also a nice thin fluid, so it's very comfortable to wear, especially during the warmer months. I did do a full review on this sunscreen and compared it to the Shaka fluid, so if you are interested in checking that out, I'll leave the blog post down below. But I do plan on making a video of that as well. There's just a lot of information to share with you all, so it takes me a bit of time to get the video ready. Next sunscreen is also an all-organic UV filter sunscreen. It is a Korean brand. It is the Cell Fusion C Cure Sunscreen 100 SPF 50 Plus PA4 Plus. So this is an old formulation of this sunscreen. They recently came out with a new formulation with new packaging as well. But I still wanted to mention this in my skincare favorites of 2020 because I did already go through a full bottle of this, and this is my second one, which I am almost done, and I really enjoy using as well. What I really like about this sunscreen is how emollient it is. The star ingredient is guaiacylene, which is the extract that comes from the chamomile plant. It's supposed to be nice and soothing. I do notice those benefits as well when I use this sunscreen. I cracked open the second bottle when I was getting my professional microneedling treatments done. And for this skincare brand in particular, it is created to be used after some type of facial treatment. After a microneedling session, my skin does feel sensitive and dry. So that's when I was using the sunscreen, and I definitely noticed the benefits of that extra moisture and calmness on my skin. So really enjoyed using this after my microneedling treatments because of how gentle and moisturizing it was, and just the winter time in general. The last two favorites I'm about to share with you are the ones that snuck into my skincare favorites in December because they are just very pleasant to use. I definitely get the hype around these two sunscreens, and I have not been able to put them down since I got them. The first one is the Color Science Total Eye 3-in-1 Renewal Therapy SPF 35 PA3+. This retails for over 90 Canadian dollars, so when I saw it on sale for 30% off, that is when I grabbed 2 of them. I do eventually want to review this sunscreen in full, but what I can say for now is that this is an all-mineral sunscreen, does not irritate my eyes at all. It actually does not dry out my eyes, but it doesn't really add extra moisture either. However, what I really like about it is that this self-sets. So when I put a considerable amount under my eyes and on my mobile lid, if you give it time to set, it does not crease. When I saw that it wasn't creasing on my mobile lid, I was quite shocked. And for the last sunscreen and skincare favorite of 2020, it is the Dermatology Tinted Moisturizer SPF 46 Universal Tint. Oh my goodness, this sunscreen is so nice. I have been using it non-stop since I got it in the mail. This is a hybrid sunscreen of organic and mineral filters. The tint, it blends into my skin. There's absolutely no cast. I am wearing it right now, but we are in false lighting. In natural light, this does look a smidge warm on my skin, but it's not really that noticeable. It adds an extra layer of moisture on my skin. It gives me a really nice glowy look, one that I really want in the wintertime in particular. This does not sting my eyes at all. This just feels really good. For this sunscreen review, I do have a blog post drafted up, and I do plan on doing a video review very soon. So stay tuned for that so you can see this in action and the reason why I really like it. Alright, and that is it for my skincare favorites of 2020. If you have made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate you watching this video in its entirety. I know I did feature a lot of skincare products for the year of 2020, but nonetheless, I hope videos like this help you out in deciding whether or not products like these are right for you. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel down below for future videos, leave a comment if you have any questions or recommendations, and I will see you all soon. Ciao.